Hi, welcome to Conversations in Music with Michael Feinstein. This little segment I'm going to dedicate to the songs of Howard Dietz and Arthur Schwartz, a couple of songs by them that are favorites of mine. They are names that you might not know, but of course if you're watching this, you might know them. They are writers who primarily wrote for Broadway reviews, and that means musical comedy shows that did not have books, did not have plots, but were a series of sketches and musical numbers that were not necessarily related to one another. And back in the earlier part of the 20th century, Broadway reviews were all the rage and were just as successful as book musicals. But as audiences became more sophisticated, they came to crave weightier fare, if you will. And Dietz and Schwartz had most of their success on Broadway writing for musical reviews, a great deal in the 20s and 30s. And many, many years later, Dietz and Schwartz, who had broken up, not for personal reasons, but because they both went their different ways professionally, as Howard Dietz also worked as a publicist for MGM and was an executive for that studio. They later reunited in the 1960s and wrote two book musicals, The Gay Life and Jenny, neither of which were successful. But their work is spectacular, and most of you may know their work from the movie The Bandwagon, which starred Fred Astaire, Sid Charisse, Nanette Febvre, and Oscar Levant. And it was for that movie that they wrote The Clown with his pants falling down over the dance. That's a dream of romance over the sea where the villain is made. That's entertainment. That song was supposedly written in about 45 minutes, very quickly, which is spectacular. But Howard Dietz was known for his quick wit. As a matter of fact, he used to challenge friends to give him the name of any celebrity from which he could quickly come up with a song instantaneously. And one time, Jonathan Schwartz, the son of Arthur, said in this little parlor game to Howard, "Okay, what can you do with Sid Charisse?" And without hesitating, Howard sang, "Sid Charisse, get off of that mantelpiece. You're such a shock there. There should be a clock there." So he was quick. He, being an executive at MGM, had to work with a lot of celebrities, and he worked with Tallulah Bankhead, whom he didn't like very much. And someone said, "What was it like working with Tallulah?" He said, "Let me put it this way, a day without Tallulah is like a month in the country." He also made fun of other songwriters who didn't have the craft that he did. When I say made fun, he made light of some of the less poetic lyric contributors. For example, there was a lyricist named Benny Davis who had a lot of big hits, his biggest hit being "Baby Face, you've got the cutest little baby face." But he did not rhyme perfectly. He would use rhymes like home and alone, June and groom, bad rhymes. But in Tin Pan Alley days that were not for Broadway, he could get away with it. But it did cause Howard Dietz to coin a little couplet, which I later repeated to Stephen Sondheim, much to his delight. Howard Dietz said, "Heaven save us from Benny Davis." So, this song I want to sing for you is one that you'll probably know. I guess I'll have to change my plan, written in 1929 for the little show. But you might not know these lyrics, which were not published, so they're not printed in the commercial sheet music, and therefore you might only know this full story if you had seen the little show in 1929, because the verse and the chorus and the second verse and the second chorus tell an extended story, which you wouldn't know just hearing the one chorus of the song as it's usually performed, as it was, for example, in The Bandwagon. I beheld her and was conquered at the start, and placed her on a pedestal apart. I planned each little hideaway we two would share one day. When I met her, I unfolded all my dream and told her how she fit into my scheme of what glistens. Then the blow came when she gave her name Mrs. I guess I'll have to change my plan. I should have realized there'd be another man. Why did I buy those blue pajamas before the big affair began? My boiling point is much too low for me to try to be a fly, Lothario. I think I'll crawl right back into my hell, dwelling in my personal hell. I have to change my plan around. I lost the one girl I found. But on second thought, this resignation's wrong. Most women want the man who comes along with love more secret and more true than they're accustomed to. And besides, it gives a most romantic edge when one is barely hanging on the ledge of abyss. So I find I do not mind if she's a Mrs. I guess I have to change my plan. Supposing after all there is another man. I'm glad I bought those blue pajamas before the enterprise began. For all is fair in love and war, and love's a war that makes it fairer all the more. Forbidden fruit, I've heard, is better to taste. Why should I let this go to waste? My conscience to the wind is tossed. I found the one girl I I guess I have to change my plan. Now you have the full lyric. Okay, this next one is one that I've sung through my entire performing career. It's from another Dietz and Schwartz Broadway review. This one from 1948 called Inside USA. And it was introduced by Jack Haley, who many of you will know as being the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. Every state in the USA has something it can boast of, a product that the state produces the most of. Rhode Island is little, but oh my, they have a product anyone would buy. Copper comes from Arizona, peaches come from Georgia, lobster comes from Maine. Wheat fields are the sweet fields of Nebraska, and Kansas gets bonanzas from the grain. Old whiskey comes from old Kentucky. Ain't the country lucky? New Jersey gives us a clue.